moha. Correct. Moha means what? Moha means delusion. Write down. Moha means delusion. And in simple English law, like the Newton's law, it is what? No. Follow the lessons, Ram, here, please. Okay. It is that right is seen as wrong. Wrong is seen as right. And people with lot of intelligence will justify their wrong action with some other intellectual arguments. That is the state of moha that Arjuna is in. And so continuing this sloka number 43, we just now chanted. Let's all chant together once again. Okay? Because live stream has come now. Let's stand now. Okay? Arjuna vacha doshairetai kulagnanam varna sankara karakaihi utsadyante jati dharmaha kula dharmascha shashvataha. So now, if you are a serious student of Bhagavad Gita, I keep saying, there are people who study Gita who are curious and who are serious. Correct? So, if you are a serious student, now two words you have to catch. Kulagnanam and Varna Sankara. Varna Sankara Karakaihi. Take the Varna Sankara. If you go to Kulagnanam, it is there in the previous sloka number 42. Correct? Second padam. Can somebody acknowledge? Kulagnanam is there. Then Sankaraha is there and Varna Sankaraha is there where? 41st sloka. Please see. 41st sloka is Varna Sankaraha. 42nd sloka is Kulagnanam. So 43rd is the addition of 41 plus 42. You can see our Arjuna is trying to fortify his judgment by reiterating what he has told earlier. Only presentation is slightly different. Seshadri sir, are you able to understand? Ram Iyer? Badrinarayan, okay? Malati madam, you're understanding, no? Huh? So that's why I say, when you study Bhagavad Gita, please study systematically. You have to study sloka by sloka, chapter by chapter. In fact, I don't have the opportunity to take Shankara Bhashyam, Ram Subbu. If you see, Acharya Shankara, before every sloka, most of the important slokas, right? It's a Pitika, little introduction, connecting the previous shloka with the next shloka. Rajendran sir. Now, if you're all completed the Gita basic studies, all are interested, special students, I will take Shankara Bhashyam separately. You will enjoy that. How Acharya Shankara connects one shloka to another shloka through an introduction. And you should study Bhagavad Gita through Shankara Bhashya, not as it is. You should study through Shankara Bhashyam. So now, he is developing the logic, and Arjuna is saying, hey Krishna, you understand, he is only addressing Krishna. Why only addressing Krishna? Because it is a dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna. Please understand, where is Sanjaya's focus now? Sanjaya's focus is now on the Ratham. Ratham, where Parthasarathi is there. Who is Parthasarathi? Krishna Paramatma is Parthasarathi. And he is now, he has already told, what did Parthasarathi tell Arjuna? He only said, Pashya. In Tamil, we'll say Parpa. You see, in that word see, there are so many implications. Bhagavan wanted Arjuna to see reality, see the correctness of what he is supposed to do. And also, he wanted to discover Arjuna's internal conflicts. And so from that arose Arjuna's conflict. He could not see the right thing. And so he all started saying all these Dharma Shastra quotations to justify not to fight. So what he's saying? He's already told earlier that, hey Krishna, these people do not know what they are getting into. They are ready to give up their lives and all their possessions for the sake of this war. And that too indirectly is saying that sake of Duryodhana. But they don't know what they're doing. Why should we fall in the same path? Why can't we be more intelligent? I am getting a very clear vision. Look at it. A person who is in deep confusion, he's saying, I got very clear vision. And that too to whom? To Krishna Paramatma. Can you know? This shows, correct? A person is in utmost confusion, is telling Krishna Paramatma, I have got very clear vision. At least now, by God's grace, I am able to, God has opened my eyes. We say in Tamil, Kadavul Kanna Tarandattar. You say no. So he's thinking that Bhagavan has opened his eyes, and then he's saying, due to these misdeeds of the destroyers of families. Correct. Who are the destroyers of the families? He's putting himself and the Pandavas and saying that we will be the cause of destruction of the families of the opposite camp. Yes or no? Do you all remember last Saturday's discussion? Because 3 days we didn't forget, 3-4 days we didn't forget, right? He was saying that if the male member of the family is not there, Dharma Shastra cannot be followed, and finally ends up and saying even the Pitrus, the forefathers, will not get their due rights, what we're supposed to do. Venkat Chitanam, is correct? Right now, all that you don't forget. So he's saying that if we get into the war, we will be the destroyers of the families, and due to these misdeeds of ours, he's now become a great Tyagi. A Tyagi, will say, we are doing all the mistakes, and because of this, we will be the cause of the intermixture of different kinds of groups and castes and religions. What happens? If a lot of people in a particular community, the male members are gone, what happens? You'll have to look for marriage in some other community, right? It all happens. You should imagine a huge war, huge destruction. What happens? So he says that there will be intermixture. And then what happens? Long-standing traditions that are there in the family, in the religion, the varna, in the ashrama, in the caste. So all those things will all be destroyed. All the family traditions will be destroyed. Now you can ask, we are all modern people, sir. All these traditions of family, hereditaries of no use, sir. What is required is you have to get a good job, earn some good money, and then enjoy life. That is life, is what we will say. Correct? You go and tell this to common people, the present day youth, they will say that. But you see, life is not one straight line. Everything goes fine all the time, right? All of you are very experienced in life. You can say for sure that there are enough number of ups and downs. Yes or no? Vandana madam, correct? Yeah? Ups and downs. Yes. So when things are going fine, I'm okay, you're okay. But when things really don't go fine, have we got the emotional stability, psychological strength to manage tough situations, difficult situations, problems? And so please understand, the family life brings in all this psychological, emotional stability. Ram Subba, correct? What I'm saying. In a family situation, the father, mother, every day you have a discussion. There is somebody to open up to and share transparently. These are the challenges I'm facing. What is the best thing to do, right? So always a well-knit family with parents, with brothers, extended family seeking their advice is always a good environment to build emotional, psychological stability. Yes or no? Do you all agree with me? Correct, no? There's somebody you want to share and get some thoughts and ideas, correct? If your things are all we think and decide is right, then no world will teach us the lesson. That's what I keep saying. If you don't go to a guru or a learned person and get the right path, the world as Vishwamahaguru will teach you. And when the Vishwamahaguru teaches, it will teach without any warning. No, madam, Ramesh Venkateshan, correct? And that will be unpalatable. It will be unpalatable. It will not be so easy. Amit Gupta ruthlessly is saying, okay. So when you don't expect things, it will come and hit you. And that time, if you don't have emotional stability, look at the world, you know what is happening. People take to different habits, different changes in way of life. Why? I will not name all those habits. The spiritual group, you all know, right? They take to all these things for what? To make sure that they somehow get some balance of emotions, right? But it leads to further problems. So please understand. So Arjuna, no doubt, is saying all these that are right, but at the, Imaji, at which place? At the wrong place. Vinodji, very good. He's staying in the wrong place. So let's go to the Padavibhaga Annaya. Doshaihi, etaihi, kulagnanam, varna sankarakarakaihi, utsadyante, jati dharmaha, kula dharmaha, cha shashvataha. So now, if we realign, N.R. Mohanji, we'll realign. That means what? Anvaya will do. You write 1, 2, 3. Ramesh Venkateshan, right now. See, etaihi doshaihi. See, doshair becomes etaihi doshaihi nanmaya. What is etaihi doshaihi? Due to these misdeeds. Etaihi means due to these. Doshaihi, misdeeds, wrong actions. Dosham nu solralla. Now, when you do something wrong, you get some result of that. So, doshaihi, misdeeds. Atmanathan, okay? Lilita madam, okay? Doshaihi. What happens? Kulagnanam. See? Of the destroyers of families. It's called Chashti Vibhakti in Sanskrit. Because of the misdeeds, it should connect. Due to these misdeeds of the destroyers of families, G.V. Kumar, you should connect both there. Etaihi doshaihi kulagnanam. I told in the last class, kakagagha. When gha comes, gnanti, means destruction. Lakshmi, note down, huh? That indicates what? I told you the difference between kritagnaha and kritagnaha. Can somebody write in Sanskrit or English in the chat box? What do you understand? Anand, you know, no? Kritagnaha means person who is actually indebted. Kritagnaha means who forgets all the favors done. No, he's actually totally what we say, no person has got no. Correct, very nice. Okay, somebody can search Sanskrit text and put it slowly, small Sanskrit you learn. Trivedi ji, सुप्रभातम. थोड़ा थोड़ा हिंदी आपको मालूम है, संस्कृत तो बहुत नजदीकी है. अब समझ लीजिए कि अभी हिंदी मालूम है तो आपको संस्कृत बहुत तेज से आ जाएगा. ठीक है? Most of you have studied Hindi, I'm sure, no, in school. So go back to your very nice Arvind Balasubramaniam. Kritagnya, Krita, very nice, excellent Arvind. Smart department, very nice. Okay, so keep all this. See, I keep saying you don't need to go separately and waste all your time and head on studying Sanskrit. Learn Sanskrit with Bhagavad Gita. Sudha madam, correct? Learn Sanskrit to Bhagavad Gita. There is actually one book called Gita Vyakaranam. People interested can buy the book and study Vyakaranam through Bhagavad Gita. That is a great blessing because you will get both Vyakaranam and Gita together. Interest, you can do all those things. Okay, coming to the point, due to these misdeeds of the destroyers of families, etaihi doshaihi kulagnanam, what is going to happen? Varna sankarakarakaihi, which cause the intermixture of different castes and different way of life. See, everybody has got a way of life. Please understand. Correct, no? Anandji, right? There is a way of life in Japan, way of life in Sweden, Switzerland, Americas, right? South Americas, Africa, India, Middle East, right? And later Bhagavan will say, I'm giving you some, what is that? They say, no, jhalak. What do you call it in film? Before itself, they'll put something, no? I'm giving you that. Bhagavan will say later, glimpse, correct, Indumati Vanam, correct. So, a teaser, you can say that. Later Bhagavan will say, trailer, okay? Whatever professions, quoted, please put everybody on mute, somebody is on mute, thank you. Whatever professions, whatever way of life, whatever work that is bestowed on the individual, if each and everyone does it systematically, still everybody is not on mute, please, okay. So, if they do it systematically, that will be the cause of emancipation for that individual. Ram Subbu, somebody is still not on mute. Thank you. Okay, we do one thing. You put everybody on mute and then just unmute me. That way you can do it. Since I'm co-host, I can unmute myself. Thank you. Because this noise will be. Yes, I can. Thank you. Good. Thank you. Thanks, Ram. I'm sorry I had to, interfere every now and then. Otherwise, class cannot go on smoothly. Okay. Thank you. Now you see. So none of you need to be worried that I am not doing that profession. Are you getting the point? Aruna, you don't need to say that, say, I am not become a Vaidika, I did not do Veda mantras, I did not do this puja, I did not become that person. You do your duty that has been bestowed to you as a housewife, as a teacher, as a lawyer, as an engineer, whatever has been bestowed to you, do it correctly. That is why there is no higher or lower. As per Sanatana Dharma, there is no somebody who is higher, somebody is lower. There is nothing like Vamshiji. It is one Universal family, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Please understand. And so, depending on the what Bhagavan will say later also is that Gunakarma Vibhagayoho. See, a person has got a certain intellectual capability and certain physical limitation. Yes or no? Arunaji, can you and me go and do sumo wrestling like Japanese people? We cannot do, right? So you should allow them to do sumo wrestling. Correct, Vamsiji? Let them do their job. And we should do our job. So when we do our job, so let us go into our own job and see what activities we do. Are we doing it correctly? And Bhagavan very clearly says, if everyone does their own sve karmani abhirataha. Arunaji, you can put that sloka in Bhagavad Gita. If one does one's own karma systematically, correctly, siddhim vindati manavaha. That itself will take the person to the highest goal. Sitaraman sir, correct? Huh? When you become, T.S. Sitaraman sir, see, when actually you'll see, when our system says when you become older, some of the physical rituals that you're supposed to do can be reduced. Sundar Mama, when you are 20-year-old, what karma you are doing, you don't need to do the same thing when you are 70, 80 years. You can go into more japam, dhyanam, more less physical, more mental. Are you getting all of you understanding? The way our Sanatana Dharma has wonderfully thought through our human system, emotionally, psychologically, and it works beautifully. So now, that is why he is saying that don't try to mix up. By mixing up what happens, it will cause confusion. Are you understanding? Are you all understanding? It is not that we are like a different caste marriage. We are not against all those things. It is purely because of the emancipation of the individual. I want all of you to understand this very clearly. The more there is coherence in the family. Look at it, for example, one person comes from one particular viewpoint. Another person says from another viewpoint. Okay, my Swamiji used to actually say this. Okay, come Sunday, one person, if the family, if they got an interreligion marriage, one person will say, I have to go to church. One person will say, you do Surya Namaskaram. Right? What will happen in the family? You think about it, right? Nothing wrong. Both are good. But coherence is not there. Then the fight will start. Correct? So, you are understanding, no? So, please understand, there is nothing that is exclusively right or wrong. We had a coherence. Why family structure is important? Coherence, alignment. That is very important. And that's when the mind will mature. So, he's saying, because of the misdeeds of the destroyers of families, which cause the intermixture of various ways of life, and varnam means different groups or castes. What will happen? Shashvataha, long-standing jati dharma, the traditions with respect to that particular community or group. Correct, no? What you should do is, my own suggestion is, when you've got good friends, you please tell them, this is what we do in our tradition when this happens. What do you do? And you'll get some idea. I'm not saying you should follow what they're doing, but you'll understand why our own people, our own forefathers had a particular way of approach to one particular, even a function for that matter. You'll be very surprised. My Guruji used to tell me, in this part of Karnataka, they celebrate Deepavali for 5 days. And every day, what is the ritual, he used to explain beautifully. And we may not do the same way, but you can appreciate what they're doing, correct? So, you're understanding, no? So, and that is how each community, each group has got their own heritage. And because of the genetics is their part of you, right? And that will sync with the way of life of your forefathers. That is the connection to our forefathers. And let me tell you, all of us connect back to the great rishis. Please understand that. When you say Abhivadaye, Bhargava, Chavana, Apravana, Amurva, you know what does it mean? All of you belong to Rishi Parampara. You connect back to great rishis. And from there is something called as Gotra and Sutra. You belong to Gotra, right? And Sutra is, you say, Apastamba Sutraha. 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐸. Vamsiji, you are saying, no. What is Apastamba Sutraha? Apastamba was a great Maharishi. He wonderfully codified Dharma Shastras for us. Apastamba Sutraha 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐸𝐻 means I am a follower of the Dharma Shastra written by the great Rishi called Apastamba, and I have studied 𝐸𝐻𝐵𝐿𝐸𝐻, at least one Shaka I have studied, one branch of Vedas. Okay, that is what it means when you do Namaskaram and tell your Pravaram. And who is Apastamba? Great Maharishi. The name Apastamba, Balanrajan, please understand. Apaha means water. Stambha means still, stilling. That means what? Making it stationary. It seems there is a story in Arjuna will be very happy. Apastamba is supposed to be from where in Andhra Pradesh, as per history. And he was actually going to one particular family for having a bhojanam, lunch. But the Yajamana was not very, not talking in good terms. He was something disturbed, and so he was not really respecting Apastamba Maharishi, and he was serving food. And in the process, he was also pouring water. When water was required, he was pouring water. But the way the owner was blabbering, Apastamba Maharishi got really a bit irritated, and he just stared at the water. The water that was flowing, he stared at it. And that water became still in air. Apastambha. Stambha means what? Like a pillar. That is the power of that Maharishi. So whenever you remember Apastambha, please understand that is the great power of the great Maharishi. You should try and invoke to make you a great Dharmishta. Dharma Shastra that the great Maharishi has written. Please understand, because most of the people follow Apastambha Sutras. May not applicable, it's applied in a different way. It's all what you do today is in a way connected to that. You understand, no? So that Gotra Sutra, all important. So it depends on, different Dakshayana Sutra, different sutras you follow. You follow your tradition. You follow your forefathers. So all those things, and Kula Dharma, correct. Kula Dharma, as well as all family traditions, Utsadyante, are destroyed. Now you see, once again, Anvaya, Etaihi Doshaihi Kulagnana Varna Sankara Karakaihi. Due to these misdeeds of the destroyers of families, which cause the intermixture of different groups or castes, what happens? Shashvataha Jati Dharmaha Chakula Dharmaha Utsadyante. If you study this, you will understand wonderfully. So what happens? Long-standing traditions of castes and groups and communities, as well as family traditions, Kula Dharmaha, family traditions. Trivedi-ji, see in the North India, if you go, immediately they'll touch the feet and bow to the elders, correct? Yes or no? The one moment once they see the elders, they'll follow the feet and touch the feet and do this, correct or not? Yes or no? Trivedi-ji, right? Rutvij, correct? In one, see, that is done. In our tradition or South Indian tradition, when somebody comes, then we fall fully at the feet and do that. So it's all wonderful traditions are maintained. All these family traditions will go away. Nobody is there to teach. Correct, no? How do you learn all these traditions? You learn by observing your parents, your brothers, your sisters, as a young boy, as a young girl, right? So if that tradition is not maintained, Atmanathan, all that will go away. You will not even know. When a great Swamiji comes home, that you should go to the Swamiji and do Namaskaram, correct? It seems the Swamiji told, in one family, the Swamiji visited, okay? Everybody was sitting down. Suddenly, one small kid in the family of 2 years old went and caught hold of Swamiji's legs. Then Swamiji was very happy. He didn't really scold the child. He asked, what is it? Then the parents told, in our house, we teach children to bow at the feet and catch hold of the feet of the elders. So the kid has found now that you are a great person. So it is immediately, without even anybody mentioning, fallen different, caught hold of the, he did not know, should not touch, but he immediately did it. And how nice the family would have been. Swamiji told that in one lecture, actually. Please understand. So that is tradition. That cannot be, you cannot teach a 15-year-old. Am I right or wrong, Rajendran sir? At 15th year, can you tell you are supposed to namaskaram to elders? Will the person do? Why should I do? What is that I will get? They will ask questions or not. Right? So we can give explanations, but the mind will not agree. So try to catch them young, and that is all tradition. Continuing. Shweta ji, please come. Sloka number 44. Utsanna kula dharmanam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vasaha bhavati tyanushruma.
Utsanna kula dharmanam manushyanam janardana narake niyatam vasaha bhavati tyanushruma.
Very nice, very nice. You see, now he's continuing. Says, hey Krishna. He is called Krishna in this sloka. Where? Hey Janardana. He's saying, we have heard from the scriptures. Now you please see, we have heard he is telling. That means what? From scriptures. When did Arjuna study scriptures? Quickly you should answer, I'll go fast. Vamshiji, when did he study scriptures? He studied scriptures under Dronacharya in Gurukulam. Correct, through Guru. Very good, Vandanaji. That means what? He's remembering all the Dharma Shastras he's learned from his Guru. And he says, we have heard from the scriptures that living in hell becomes inevitable. That means what? People are destined to live a hellish life for the people whose family traditions are destroyed. Very important. See, after you go through a life which is all problematic, you can write an autobiography. In the Malati madam, I went through all these challenges, so life was hellish because I didn't have proper family background. I didn't understand what is the right way of life. Who is an intelligent person? I'll teach you one technique today, one secret. All of you, Vidyaji. Okay, you know what is secret? Intelligent people learn from others' mistakes. You know, very good. Foolish people learn after, hopefully learn. Even they may not even learn in this life. They will continue this life, and if they learn, it is good. And after 80 years, they'll say, all these mistakes I did. Correct? So please understand. That is why scriptures show us what is the way of life. Scriptures have been done with a lot of thought, our rishis, without any expectancy, without any favor, only for our own good. Because they don't expect any favor. You know, the rishi was written Dharma Shastras. That's Apastamba there now to get dakshina from you. It's not there. Please understand. They have given a lot of love and affection for the humanity, that we follow properly and get emancipated. And so he's saying, we have heard from scriptures that any person who is having a life without a proper family tradition, kula dharma, then all this family way of life, their life will be hellish. That means what? One need not go to hell. This is hell in earth. Are you getting the point? The person has not gone to hell, Vamshiji. He is already only in the earth, but the feeling is like being in hell. So we say it's all up to you to make life on earth, heaven or hell. It is in you. Please understand. You follow the right way of life by being on the path of Dharma, looking at the Shastra, learning from Guru, learning from elders if you don't know. And then house can be created into heaven. But same place, if you don't follow Dharma, Anusthana and Punya Karma, same place will be hell. So look at it. In Kannada, there is one song. Ille Swarga, Ille Naraka, Mele Yella Sullu. Jagannath Guptaji, you remember the song? Here only is heaven, here is hell. Outside everywhere is not really true. They say. So please understand that it is separate, but you can create. And what is heaven? Heaven is happiness. Hell is sorrow. That's all. It's all state of mind. You will go to that place after death to undergo all those miseries. Here itself will be a problem if you don't have proper family structure. So much of emphasis on family structure our dear Arjuna is giving. And now look at Padavi Bhaganmaya. So, Utsanna Kula Dharmanam, one word. Manushyanam, he Janardana, Narake Niyatam Vasaha, Bhavati iti Anushruma. Anushruma, special prayogam. We'll tell later anyway. Now, Anvaya, Hey Janardana, Hey Krishna. Janardana, two meanings I gave. Somebody remembers? Please put the meaning in the chat box. I gave two meanings of the word Janardana. Vinodji will be knowing that. Please put the two meanings for the other people to know. Acharya Bhashya, if you read, you'll get the two meanings. Okay, I told even which particular chapter reference I gave you. Okay, Hey Janardana, Hey Krishna. Anushruma, we have heard from the scriptures, from Dharma Shastras. And Dharma Shastras always connect to Vedas. Vedo-khilo dharma moolam. Smriti-shire cha tadvidam. Acharas-chaiva sadhunam. Atmanas-tushtirevacha. So please understand. Arjuna is saying that, Hey Janardana, Hey Krishna, you heard from the scriptures. Iti, that. What? Vasaha, living. Narake, hell, in hell, Saptami, in hell, Bhavati Niyatam, becomes inevitable. Becomes inevitable. For whom? Manushyanam, for the people, Utsanna Kula Dharmanam, whose family traditions have been destroyed. So Makara Shankaranti comes, Deepavali comes, Janmashtami comes, Navaratri comes, Ugadi comes. What to do, we don't know. Correct? No, Malati madam. If you have a family tradition, Karadaya Nombu, they do no Mahashivaratri. We should do all those things, right? What that comes only from family tradition. Please understand. Now, Periva is conducting so many classes through a lot of instructors, how to revive all our traditions. Training is being given, especially all the threes. So that's a great vision Periva has now taken up to revive all the family traditions back. Because somewhere it is broken, right? We have all been separated out in different places. We are not Hemaji, correct? So to teach all the youngsters and people, Periva is organizing all these things. Later I'll give you information on that. Understood? No? Now, so what is happening? Please understand, if a family is run properly, I'll tell you in secret, Arunaji, Bala and Rajan, family runs well, psychologists and psychiatrists will go out of business. No, Parvati madam, correct? Mohan. No, they will not have any business if a family is properly run, like a family tradition is maintained, family is correct? Nityamani sir, correct? Correct? Yesterday, actually, I was going to a medical shop to buy medicine for somebody else, not for me. And I was talking to that person in the shop. And I told him, by God's grace, we are medicine free. But you people will not like people who are medicine free. See, the medical shop people, they will want people to buy medicines. But we should become medicine free, correct? No, like that. If a family is run very well, psychologists and psychiatrists will not have any job, and definitely they will find different profession. Don't think that some people will say, oh, sir, if I don't have a mental problem, how can the psychiatrist, psychologist survive, sir? Other way around. Argument. This is called argument moha the highest. Like some people said, no, Kumar Jivi, if I don't smoke, what will happen to the cigarette manufacturers? Correct? Right? No? Like that, people give different kind of argument to justify the wrong action. So please understand. Arjuna said argument, correct? So better be on the right path. I'll tell you, having a proper life and family and having proper calm mind is the fundamental. Krishna here, please understand. When that structure is stabilized, the mind becomes calm, then only you can focus on the higher goal of life. What is the highest goal of life? Can you all please state in the chat box? Highest goal of life is to attain that supreme peace, happiness, eternal bliss here and now through jnanam. Please understand, moksha. Correct? That eternal, one has to get it here in this life. And that is a systematic process of building. Shuddha Chaitanyam Atma, I am very happy. Bhagavad Gita students are going to be the ambassadors of Atma Jnanam to the entire world. Ram Subbu. In the Mari, Inga Solanga Sachidananda Surupam, Atma Jnanam, Shuddha Chaitanyam, Moksham, Anandam, Paramanandam. So nice. Very Trivedi, right? No? Only on that fundamental, like in any building, only when the foundation is strong, superstructure will be strong. Similarly, right way of life is fundamental to getting moksha. So Arjuna is not wrong, but argument to the wrong place. So what we need to do, what is the message from this? We need to start slowly practicing. I am telling you, you don't need to suddenly change the 180 degrees, 360 degrees suddenly. Kumar Jivi, Trivedi ji, boond, banta hai sagar. Drops of water make a mighty ocean. Start little bit. You're getting my point? So you look at, if I were you, I'll do a plan. Okay, next 1 month. Inar Mohan sir, I will try to introduce one small step of Dharma Shastra in my life. Next 1 month, one more small step. Like that, you build over 12 months. By next year, by next Yugadi or next New Year, after this, Shubhakrit Nama Samvatsaram, please see this Shubhakrit Nama Samvatsaram, let it bring auspicious to everybody. And the way it will bring auspicious, building auspicious in our life. Sugandhi Shankar madam, we should add one by one slowly. Sarita Pillai, you learn and then add. For example, today I will try to learn one small japam and start doing. Okay, one small puja. Like that, you keep on adding every month, every 2 months, 3 months. And by the time you're 1 year, then you look back. This when the Ugadi comes, this year I have done so much wonderful things. You look at it. Like that, you keep on adding. And by the time you do it, then Gita Shastram also is got into the mind. Arvind, correct? All things will be there. Mind can never ever enter into any depression problems in spite of the surroundings. Please understand, it is easy to be happy, easy to be joyful, easy to be in a state of bliss when things are going fine. Correct, Sarita Pillai madam? Am I right? When everything is going fine, I'm very happy. I'm very happy, madam. But when things are going bad, also you say, I'm taking it the right spirit. It's a lesson. I will learn. See, Seturaman, correct? No, like that you should be there, and that mind will not come overnight. Ji, like they say, no, Rome was not built in a day. The mind, though unknown, what is mind? Nobody knows. Subtlest part of the human system. Nobody has discovered what is the mind. No scientist can say what is this mind. And that unknown entity is creating so much problem. Yes or no? Correct, Asita, correct? Like the unknown coronavirus created so much problems. Hopefully you're out of it. These unknown things only, which is not seen, only create problems. So that is what is all Dharma Shastra all about. So please understand, that is something very important we learn. Continuing 45. Now Arjuna is blabbering. Height of blabbering has started. Arjuna ji, Shweta ji, please come. Okay. Arjuna uvacha aho batamahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yadrajya sukha lobhena hantum swajana mudyataha.
Aho batamahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yadrajya sukha lobhena hantum swajana mudyataha.
Very nice. All of us once again will chant, okay, together. Aho batamahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yadrajya sukha lobhena hantum swajana mudyataha. What is the meaning? So Arjuna is saying, alas. This word aho has come from alas. Alas has come from aho. Okay. Alas. We have undertaken to commit a great sin. Add the word, hey Krishna. He is telling Krishna Paramatma. It's really, if you imagine what Krishna Paramatma would be doing. Mandahasam. He is only smiling. Arjuna, okay, fine. I will wait. Anyway, time is coming for me to Gita Upadesha. You are creating the situation for me to be Gita Upadesha. And so he is smiling internally. He is smiling and observing. And he is telling, Arjuna is telling Krishna Paramatma, we have undertaken to commit a great sin. He is joining Krishna also. Krishna Paramatma, Krishna, you and me, all of us are now on a path to do such a great sinful activity. What for? Only because of the greed for the pleasures of kingdom. He's justifying. Tyagi says, see, all of us are suddenly we got a lot of greed for the kingdom and pleasure. See, now you please observe very carefully. Is actually the fight for the pleasures of the kingdom, or is it the fight to establish dharma? What is the fight about? Is really Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Panchapandavas, Krishna Paramatma are interested in that, whatever they are going to get from the kingdom and position, happiness and all? Correct, very good. This fight for dharma. Now what is he saying? He is twisting. It's called twisted argument. He is twisting the argument and saying that this fight is for getting the pleasures of kingdom. So he's saying that, and for that we are prepared to kill our own people. No argument. What is argument? Now see, we'll do Aho bata mahat papam. Mahat plus papam, two words. Mahat plus papam. Kartum vyavasitaha. You require visarga. Vyavasitaha bhayam. Yet is actually yadrajya sukhalobhena is one word. Yet rajya sukhalobhena. You can break it that way. Yet rajya sukhalobhena hantum swajanam udyataha. Now the count of swajanam has increased. Ramayar Viseshadri, who is very serious student, can now count how many swajanam has come. Ramayar konja number subject la focus pannalam. So how many swajanam has come? Somebody can do homework. Next class, hopefully somebody can put in the chat box so benefit everybody. How many times swajanam has come? I am giving clue to our quiz team to make this quiz. Openly, this may be a quiz question. I am not saying it will be, because I don't make the quiz. Vamshiji, Somebody makes the quiz, but I'm suggesting to my quiz master to make this how many times Swajanam has come in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now you see Swajanam has come again. Udyataha. Anvaya. Aho bata. Alas. Vayam vyavasitaha. We have undertaken. We are about to cause. What? Kartum. To commit. Mahat papam. Great sin. You understand all? Mahat means great. Papa means sin. Alas, we have undertaken a particular endeavor right now, an activity you're about to cause. What? To commit a very great sin. What for? Yet for Rajya Sukha Lobhena. Rajya means kingdom. Sukham means what? Happiness. Lobha means what? Greed. When you combine all these things, because samasta padam, then you would use the samasa and then explain all those things. So much of sense is not required. If you're doing Gita Vyakaranam, in that class I'll tell you how to break it accordingly. So, Rajya Sukha Lobhena, due to greed for the pleasure of kingdom, and you should add, because of our short-sightedness. You see, we should think. We should think. Large-heartedness we should have. Live and let live. Now, somebody told this, right? Who said this? Live and let live. I'm giving you some kind of questions here. Who said live and let live? Like that, Arjuna is saying in the battlefield, live and let live. We should not be short-sighted. Who said, live and let? You can go to Google if you want. I don't have a problem. Live and let me, somebody said, famous statement. So he's saying that, due to greed for the pleasure of the kingdom and the royal, kind of comforts, Udyataha. Udyataha means we are prepared. Uttu means getting up. Please understand. You all know. Madam, Uttishta, Uttishta Govinda, Uttishta Garudadvaja. Every day morning you say, no. Uttu means something higher, getting up. So, we are prepared. We are getting up. We are moving in the direction to what? Hantum, to kill Swajanam. Swajanam, you all should say the meaning more than me. What does Swajanam mean? Our people. So, please understand. Also, you should add, by what is the great sin we are doing? Mahat Papam should be expanded. We are going to be the cause of Varna Sankaraha, Jati Sankaraha, Dharma Nashaha, Pitrunam Patanam. What is Pitrunam Patanam? Radha Krishnan. Lupta Pindo Takakriyaha. Don't forget all Slokhas. Our Pitrus will not get their dues for Shraddha, Tarpanam and all those things. So they will not be able to be stable in their Pitrulokam. They will start falling down. Please understand. Who said, find out, no? You all should know. This is for your question. So you don't ask the question there. Okay, find out. Okay. So Arjuna is now trying to justify further all his actions and he has now reached the point of no return. So he concludes with this shloka. Shloka number 46. See, today I promised to finish first chapter. We will finish it today. Because Shwetaji has come, no? Good luck. He has brought some more shlokas we have done today. Okay. Arjuna vacha yadi mama pratikaram ashastram shastra panayaha dhartarashtrarane hanyuhu tanme kshemataram bhavet.
Arjuna uvacha yadi mama pratikaram ashastram shastrapanayah dhartarashtrarane hanyuhu tanme kshemataram bhavet.
Very nice, very nice, beautiful. Now, what is Arjuna saying? This is the final statement of Arjuna in first chapter. Write down. First and last. What is first? First chapter. What is last? Last shloka of Arjuna. Okay. Now, now he is now saying ahimsa paramo dharmaha. That is what he is trying to profess. You all know, no? In our Sanatana said, don't do injury. Indirectly saying this in these words. What is he saying? Even if armed Kauravas are armed or not, Kauravas are ready to fight, right? They are all armed with all bows, arrows, axe, everything, pickaxe, everything. Even if the armed Kauravas would kill me, because I am going to be unarmed. You please understand. You know, the whole dialogue started with Arjuna raising the bow. You remember? So, Dhanurudyamya Pandavaha. That, please don't forget that particular word. Instead of putting the arrow to the bow and shooting, he raised the particular bow, which means that I am going to now not fight. And then the entire dialogue is happening. So he is saying that I am not going to be armed. That means what is indicated that he is going to give up arms. And I can be unarmed, let them be armed, let them kill me. So I will stand like this, he's telling. I'll stand like it. If all the bow, all the arrows, all the, everything fall on me, I'll give up my life. Tyagi. He said Tyagi, in all languages, Tyagi seems the same. Hindi and Tyagi, Tamil and Tyagi, Kannada and Tyagi, all understand Tyagi, He wants to become a great Tyagi. And I will not resist I will not be resisting in the battlefield. So I am going to be unarmed. I am going to be undressed in the battlefield and let the Kauravas fully armed come and kill me. Now connect this with what happens to Abhimanyu, his own son, in Chakravyuha. Young boy is fighting. And they killed him from different directions. Yes or no? You know how angry Arjuna got? When he heard that news, he said he will fight to finish and get the totally out of them within sunset of the next day. Correct? You remember or not? He made a Shapatham. You understand all those things are not Mahabharata. Glimpse pargo. You should compare and contrast. Here is Arjuna saying that he will be unarmed, let everybody kill me. And there, when that happened, that means what? By the time he started to fight, what should have happened to Arjuna? He's undergone transformation from Ajnanam to Jnanam. Look at the beautiful. That's how you study Mahabharata and Gita. He got extremely angry when Abhimanyu's death reached his ears. Correct? He is saying, I will be unarmed, I will be unresisting, and that would be better for me. He is saying that this is the best thing. Rangaran doctor. He is saying the best thing would be to give up arms, stand in front, let them come and hit me, I will die. That's what he is saying. Look at Padavibhaga. Okay. Yadi mam apratikaram ashastram shastrapanayaha dhartarashtraha visarga is spread. Dhartarashtraha rane hanyuhu tat me kshemataram bhavet. Clear? No? Now, Anvaya. Now, yadi, even if shastrapanayaha, shastrapani means person who is having arm in the hand. Simple Sanskrit, shastram na arms. Na, panigraham mandukala. What is panigraham? Theriyum. Na solla vanda. Okay, okay, fine. Yadi shastrapanayaha, armed, dhartarashtraha, Kauravas. Kauravas na, Dhritarashtra putraha. Correct. All of you remembering your good old days. Very good. Vandana madam, very nice. All your videos, all you go and see. Fine. Dhartarashtraha, Kauravas. Hanyuhu mam means what? Would kill me. I'm giving Padavibhaga and Anvaya. Okay. Ashastram, who is unarmed, saying, I am going to be unarmed, even if the armed Kauravas would kill me. And what is another qualification of my status? Apratikaram. I am not going to resist. I am going to just stand and say, okay, do what you want. Some people say, no, I am coming in the center of the battlefield, do what you want. Like that, he's saying, whatever you do, I am not going to react. So I am going to unresisting, not going to fight in return. That means what? You can put any arm on me, I will not give any return arm. Like Gandhi said, no, one cheek you get, one cheek you show. He wants to bring ahimsa here. Rane, in the battlefield, in the battle, what happens? Tad bhavet, that would be kshemataram. Kshemataram means comparative. Right down, Amit Gupta ji. Kshemam, kshemataram, kshematamam. Taram is comparative, better. More better would be if I am killed in the battlefield, unarmed, unresisting, and the opposite Kauravas come and hit me with all the arms. I'm ready to take everything. Because you know what is going to happen? Because of that, if I am dead, the war will come to an end. So nobody will die, and so all the family will be protected. Kula dharmaha. Then no Varna Shankara will happen. All the Pitras will get their dues. Everything will happen, and by my sacrifice, everybody will be kshemataram. Not only for me, but for everybody, it will be the best result. The final judgment that Arjuna is giving, actually the icing on the cake, we say, no, in the modern language. Icing on the cake, judgment is giving Arjuna finally. So please understand. So what is he saying? if you want to summarize all the things he has told till now, Arjuna is saying, I have decided not to contribute to this tragedy. I am not going to fight this war at any cost. But the war has been signaled by the Kauravas, they are ready to fight. So what I'm going to do, Duryodhanas, etc., Karna, all people can shoot arrows at me. But I do not want to do any resistance, no resistance. And even if they kill me unarmed, unresisting, I have decided to not take the bow and arrow and fight. And so I am going to not fight, he's told. And he's saying that he wants to give up the arms and try to get what is called as very nice exit. You say, when you want to exit a company, there are two ways you can exit a company. Nah, get me a good package, so I will leave the company. Like that, he wants to get a good anugraham from Bhagavan. Clean exit, the correct. Clean exit. Later he is going to say, second chapter, bless me with sannyasam. So, best. Put the blame and run away. Nah, sannyasam is there for taking for free or what? Says, give me sannyasam, I'll run away. So what happens? I'm holy guy, I'll not fight. You all fight, I'll go away. Like that he wanted to say. And so Raga Shoka has culminated in the deepest moha. And so Arjuna is saying that he is not going to fight. So saying this, Arjuna could not speak further. Krishna is not speaking further. When both of them don't speak in Bhagavad Gita, what happens? Who speaks? Venoji, very nice. Sanjaya speaks. Correct. Vyasacharya scheme of things should really experience joyfully Mahabharata and this Bhagavad Gita. So now, Shweta, please come. Sanjaya uvacha eva muktva Arjuna sankhe rathopastha upavishat visrujya sasharam chapam shoka samvigna manasaha. Shweta, please.
Sanjaya uvacha eva muktva Arjuna sankhe rathopastha upavishat visrujya sakaram chapam shoka samvigna manasaha.
Very good. I will take. Very good. I will come to the later. Okay. I will take about 3 minutes more today. Will you give me permission? So we finish the first chapter and can start second chapter new in the next class. Okay, Vinodji, all of you. Please stay back for 2-3 minutes. We'll finish the first chapter. Okay. Now, so now Sanjaya is saying, because why? Both of them stop speaking. Sanjaya is saying, having spoken thus in the battlefield. So what is happening? Bhagavan said, Pashya. After that, only monologue. What happens in a monologue? Only one person is speaking. And Bhagavan is smiling and listening. So Sanjaya is saying, having spoken thus in the battlefield, Arjuna, whose mind was grief-stricken, extremely overpowered with grief, what did he do? He sat on the seat of the chariot. Please understand, when fighting, a person is supposed to stand on the chariot and fight. No sitting and fighting, not like our modern tanks. Kanchi or Ramakrishnan. In modern tanks, you get inside the tank, sit inside and look at the turret and then move it and fight. Angala, you have to stand and fight. So, on a place where he's supposed to stand and fight, he is sitting. A lot of implication is there. He's sitting. And then he sat on the seat of the chariot. And what happened? He's given up the bow and arrows. Having given up the bow along with the arrows, our friend Arjuna has given up both bow and arrows. And he's sitting on the chariot where he is supposed to stand and fight. No, quickly. Sanjaya uvacha. Visarga is required. Okay. Evam uktva Arjuna sankhye rathopastha. If you do Sandhi Vibhaga, Ratha plus Upastha is Guna Sandhi, but only one word. It's a one. Rathopastha upavishat visrujya sasharam chapam shoka samvigna manasaha. Very beautiful word. Shoka samvigna manasa. Very nice word. I'm going to take 3 minutes more. Okay. Sanjaya uvacha. Sanjaya said. What he said? Uktva evam. Having spoken thus. Where? Sankhye. Sankhye means in the battlefield. Please understand. Sankhye has got different meanings. Sankhye means numbers. So since number of people assembled in a place, it's also called a battlefield. Sankhye. Saptami. In the battlefield. Arjuna. Arjuna. And what is Arjuna? Arjuna is qualified by this term. Shoka samvigna manasaha Arjuna. You write down that. Shoka Samvigna Manasaha is a qualification of the state of mind of Arjuna, whose mind was grief-stricken. See, Shoka. Shoka means what? Grief. Samvigna Manas. Vigna Manasaha, Vigna Manasaha, Samvigna Manasaha. If I had time, I would tell this for 15 minutes, this word. But time is not there. Manasa means with the mind. Vigna Manasaha. Vignamna Therima no? Are Vigna Raja. Who is Vigna Raja? All hurdles, right? All problems. A mind which is in deep trouble. Samvigna Manasa means Samyaka Vignaha. That is totally in turmoil. The mind that is grief-stricken and deep turmoil. Upavishat. Arjuna sat where? Rathopasthe. Rathopasthe. So, sorry, that word should be Rathopasthe, not Rathopastha. Padavibhaga is Rathopasthe. It is actually Saptami. Ekara will go, Bhukara comes. Okay. Rathopasthe. Ratha upasthe. On the seat of the chariot. Visrajya. Having given up what? Chapam. Chapam means the bow. Sasharam means along with the arrows. Sharam means arrows. Sasharam means along with arrows. So once again, Anvaya, Sanjayaha uvacha uktva evam sankhye Arjunaha shoka samvigna manasaha. Sanjaya said, having spoken thus in the battlefield, Arjuna, whose mind was grief-stricken, upavishat, sat, where Rathopasthe, on the seat of the chariot. What did he do? Visrajya, having given up Chapam, the bow, Sasharam, along with the arrow. Please understand, the mental grief has translated to physical action. By giving up the bow and arrow, Arjuna is indicating that physically he has become unfit. By having deep sorrow in the mind, and later you will see, in the second chapter, he will start crying. He will have tears in his eyes. Shows them it has affected the internal organs also. So instead of fighting for establishing Dharma, which was Arjuna's Swadharma, he is now desired to forsake Swadharma. Write down, very important point. Underline this. He is now ready to forsake his Dharma and he wants to run away from the battlefield. Second chapter, you know, ask for a glorified exit. Now, Vinodji will not say in clean exit. Clean kuda vana. Glorified exit, where people celebrate his exit from the battlefield. He wanted that kind of send-off. Good send-off party he wanted. Let me put it this way. Rajendran sir, like all of us get send-off party when we retire, no? 100 people join. Like that, he wanted send-off party from both the armies. But do you think Krishna Paramatma is going to let it happen? Krishna Paramatma will never let it happen. What happens? Along with the Purti Shloka, we'll take it in the next class because Purti Shloka requires a lot of Om. Anyway, what we'll do, we'll chant the Purti Shloka and end meaning I'll tell the next class. Shwetaji, please come. Om Tat Sat Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahmavidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyayaha.
Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahmavidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyayaha.
See, by Krishna Paramatma's grace, we have finished first chapter. Also chant once again together with me, because the Purti Shloka will chant twice. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahmavidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Arjuna Vishada Yogo Nama Prathamodhyayaha. Om Tat Sat. See, by the grace of Krishna Paramatma, our Acharyas, our Guru Parampara, and all our elders, we are able to complete first chapter. Like that, every chapter one by one will study, and I can promise you by grace of our Acharyas, say in Tamil, no, Guru Varul, Thiruvarul, with both graces, we will be able to finish 18 chapters. Malati Madam, Jnanam Peruvom, Jnanam Peralam, Ingeye Ippave, we can get that Jnanam. Once you get Jnanam, no looking back. Every day you'll be looking forward to life. No looking back, looking forward. That is the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. With these words, we will end the class today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Any questions are there we can take, or we can do it on coming Saturday also, because we've got another class coming on Saturday. Ramakrishnan, please let me know whether anybody wants to ask a question. Otherwise, you can reserve it for Saturday. No question. So we'll stop here. And anybody who has questions, please come for the. Now you all know, right? We are having a second class on Saturday morning. You all can have a good coffee and have Bala Nataraj and even good breakfast you can have, and come and listen on Saturday morning for people in the US. People in India can come in the evening. Okay, right. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Rajan Sundar has got a question. Can you get him on board quickly? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Ranjan Sundar. Ramakrishnan, I need to request you to wait for
start the video.
Ranjanji, please start your video.
Ranjanji, okay. Where do you stay? Please let me know from where you are speaking. Tell me your location, please. Unmute yourself. Thank you. Now you can. Okay.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah,
Guruji, I have a question.
Where are you? No, please tell me your location. Location, boliye.
I'm from Denver.
Denver, very good. Go ahead, please. Okay.
Yeah, my question is, Guruji, in Ramavatara, Lord Ram led his life of Dharma completely. His life itself was in the path of Dharma. So he was setting an example of leading a life by Dharma itself.
Correct.
But in Krishnavatara, Lord Krishna has to talk about Bhagavad Gita, about dharmas, everything, by reducing himself from leading a life of example from his Ramavadara. And in Krishnavadara, he has to talk to people, which is a lesser or a lower standard compared to leading a life.
Okay.
So, my question is, why did Lord have to resort to a lower or less effective approach than leading a life of example, which is the best example for a society to, like, for a better society, for leading a path of Dharma?
Look up. Very good. Excellent. Very nice. Very nice. So, wonderful question. Thanks for the question, by the way. Now, you see, what happens is, in a society, when somebody lives a life very strictly, with the path of Dharma, like a very sharp way, same like they live, other people will look, and that person will not come and interact much with you. He'll be living a life of Dharma and going on this path. People have to look up to him or her. Other people will think, see, it is not for commoners like us. You see, this kind of way of Dharma, dharmic way of life, only for especially few people can do. And we cannot follow. So they will be diffident. In English, this word called diffident, opposite of confident, right? So what will happen? They will think it is impossible, improbable for common people like us. After all, we are common. We cannot follow that, sir. That is one reason. People will think so. Krishna Paramatma desired to come and be like a friend. Please understand. Krishna Paramatma was a friend, philosopher, and guide. One day I will tell separately on Mahabharata where the way Krishna Paramatma has moved with everybody, whether it is Arjuna or the Pandavas, other people, like a friend he moved with everybody. So, in fact, if you see in our scriptures, so that you get an overall view, Ranjan Sundar, there are 3 levels of advice that is given. Please make a note if you got a paper and pen. Okay. The Vedas are called as Prabhu Samhita. Write down. Prabhu Samhita means like a king, it will order. Do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara. Keep on giving instructions. Will everybody follow implicitly? You can unmute. You can tell me. Will everybody follow implicitly? Okay. So what happens? Then the same thing that is being told in a very direct way, since people cannot follow, the Itihasa Puranas like Mahabharata, Ramayana, will say in slightly friendly way. It's called Sakha Samhita. That means what? Same thing is told like a friend, so that more palatable. Are getting the point? That means what? You'll say, okay, my friend is also following, is like me only, so I'll also follow. So that kind of, identification of the path gets done. Okay, that is second level. The third level is called Kanta Samhita, like your wife. More than your friend, if your wife tells you, you listen, correct? No. All the poems, all the kavyas of Kalidasa and other great kavyas tell the same dharma of Vedas and the Itihasas in a very, very nice way, more loving and affectionate way. So then you will try to identify with it more easily. So Krishna Paramatma has adopted a slightly more friendly way. If you are with the Bhagavad Gita course, please know, we'll take you to those portions in Gita where Bhagavan says that I should behave like them. If I am one with them and tell them, they will listen to me. If I am not the most, if I am not the most inspired person, the most energetic person, if I don't lead by example and be among them, they will not be able to follow, because people generally look up to people at important positions, and if they're closer to us, they will try to identify and follow. So Krishna Paramatma had to come down to the level of human beings and be with them and show the path. That is one point. Second point is, please understand, the yuga has changed. I think you should unmute. I think in the background I got some noise. Benjamin, you should unmute. Thank you. Okay. See, there are 4 yugas, right? What are the 4 yugas? You can put in the chat box. Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga. Then there is Treta Yuga. Then there is Dwapara Yuga. Then there is Kali Yuga. Which every yuga that is changing, the value system comes down. Yes or no? Why you go to yugas? You go to our own generation. When we were young, if elders said you do this, we will follow. Implicitly, yes or no? Today, will your children or grandchildren later, will they say you do this? Will they listen immediately? What you should do? You should do along with them. For example, if a father is telling his son, do Sandhya Vandanam, son will ask, Appa, did you do Sandhya Vandanam? So what you should do? You should take and do Sandhya Vandanam along with the son. Then only slowly he'll follow. Correct? You're getting a point, right? So as the yugas change, age changes, people will start the questioning and the identification and looking up to, following implicitly, respecting elders reduces. And so what happens? Elders and other great people will have to come down to the level of the people, be like friends. So why? What for? So that people come to the right path. See, the goal is the same. When you say Ramavataram, when you say Ramavataram, what is the opening statement? That Narada comes and tells Valmiki, Buddhiman, Nitiman, Bhagmi, who is the greatest among human beings. And then he says about Rama, and he says Valmiki to write about Rama. But that was the age where you could look up to the person and follow. Okay. But when Dwapara Yuga came, already values have come down. No? That's why Yadava Kula fought and totally got extinguished. So values come down, you have to be more closer to the people and advise them. And Kali Yuga, you can see our acharyas who don't need to interact with people, they interact with people almost like a friend, so that people come to the right path. Understanding? Can you restate what your understanding is now? Your question? Now unmute. Unmute. Can you allow him to unmute now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Ramavatara, it is difficult, it is possible for people to look at
No.
Lord
Treta
Ram
Yuga.
when he leads.
Treta Yuga. You talk about Yuga, times. Okay. Unmute. Once again, you've got in mute. Please. Okay. Okay. Right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Treta Yuga, so people were able to look up to Lord Ram because he was able to lead a life of Dharma, and people were able to relate to him easily. So as the yugas came down or reduced, the intellectual ability of people also got reduced, and Krishna had to talk to people. So for people to understand, and eventually in Kali Yuga, as Guruji mentioned, it is friendship. So they had to be friends for people to relate to them.
See, it's not intellectual capability, it is a faith, lack of faith. In Sanskrit, we call it Shraddha and Bhakti. Please write this down. So, in the Vedas, there is separate Suktam for developing Shraddha. Shraddha Suktam. There is a Veda mantra, set of mantras. To develop Shraddha, may I develop Shraddha to Guru, to Shastram, may I implicitly try and obey. By chanting continuously, one gets a Shraddha, because getting Shraddha is not easy. Correct? So, that Shraddha reduces from Krita Yuga to Treta Yuga to Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga. And you are all at least blessed that you got the Shraddha Bhakti to sit down and study Bhagavad Gita. So you're all on the right path. So may God bless, and you all find the right way of life and go to the emancipated state. Okay? Clear? Okay. Very nice. So Ram, are we done? No more questions, right? So we can end the class today, right?
2 questions, but
2 more questions, Guruji. Ram Ram.
Now you say Amog is coming. Our friend Amog suddenly has made an appearance. He was disappeared. He did a disappearing act for the last 1 month or so. What Amog? You are pretty famous. A lot of people are saying why Amog is not coming and asking questions.
No,
Okay,
I've been
go ahead.
listening, Guruji. I've been listening in, and I've loved every minute of it. So,
Okay. Okay.
I just have one question. So, I think 2 classes, or maybe last class, you had said that it is important that we realize that we are complete. That is part of gaining vidya. So, if we already know that we are complete, then why do we need to do certain things like, say, I don't know, have children, get married, all these things that supposedly complete us, if we're already complete?
Provided you recognize you are complete. And what is recognition of completeness mean? Recognition of completeness means write down 1, 2, 3. When you come to me, you come with a pen and paper. Right? You should all write down messages. You write down. Recognition of completeness. Purnamada Purnamidam means desirelessness. Write down. Desirelessness. Okay? That means what? I do not desire either name, fame, money, position, people, family, nothing. Please be very clear about it. Not even the so-called comforts that I'm enjoying. First point. Second point, because I don't desire anything, technically you are giving up. Correct? And Shastras say, not only should one give up everything, but also give up the thought of having given up. You understand that? There's no point saying, sir, I've given up coffee, sir, I've given up milk, sir, I've given up this. Don't say that. Okay? I have no desire, sir. So don't go and say I am desireless. Even mentioning that I am desireless is no use. So it's wrong. You understand? Okay? Yeah. And third, ever in the state of supreme peace, happiness, bliss, which is otherwise called as moksha, here and now. 3. Okay. 4. Follow dharma 100% as per your status in society. Getting a point? So a jnani can be a brahmachari jnani, grihastha jnani, vanaprastha jnani, sannyasi jnani. Jnanam has nothing to do with ashrama. Ashrama is the way of life. Can you follow your ashrama dharma properly? What Arjuna is saying, what Bhagavan is going to say later. Am I able to follow all that has been ordained for me correctly after getting jnanam? Why? Because, let me tell you, after you get jnanam also, you got this body. This human body is extremely pious. It should be treated in a very pious way to do proper dharma anushthanam in this body. So even though you have jnanam in the mind, the body should be following dharma properly, body or sense organs. So all these 5, 6 things a little bit more. Can you treat people with compassion? Can you work for their emancipation next step? There is a sloka, write down, since you came, I'll tell you Subhashita. Durjana sajjano bhuyat, sajjana shanti mapnuyat, shanto mucheta bandhebhyaha, muktasya anyana vimochanate. What does it say? Let people, wicked people become good. First step, correct, no? Then let the good people get shanti, get peace of mind. Then let the people who have achieved the calmness of mind achieve moksham. Mucheta bandhebhya, let them get this supreme bliss, happiness, that moksha what we call. The 4th stage, muktasya anyana vimochanate. So the person who has already got that bliss, let the person spread and make other people also blissful.
Yeah.
You understand? You understand? You understand that? Yeah. So great jnanis, great mahans, they live so that they can bring other people to the path of everlasting bliss or happiness. The lifestyle is immaterial. They can be, my Guruji was a grihastha. He had a family with 2 daughters, everything, right? So the teacher can be a grihastha, brahmachari or vanaprastha sannyasi. But the message of the Guru is to take the disciple from this ocean of samsara, Shoka Moha, and they lift the person to Jnana. When Jnana comes, Nandati, Nandati, Nandatyeva. You understood?
Yes. So where do the Dharma Shastras play a role in this? Like, where do they...
Dharma Shastras play a role from beginning to end. When you're Ajnani also, you have to follow Dharma. When you're Jnani also, you have to follow your Dharma. If you're Sannyasi, follow Sannyasa Dharma. If you're Brahmachari, follow Brahmachari Dharma. Are you getting the point? Just because I got Jnana, there is no license for breaking Dharma.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you getting the point?
Yes.
That's why even sannyasi has got a dharma. Please understand. It's called sannyasa dharma. Grihastha dharma is there. You are brahmachari, I hope, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Right? Okay. So for you, there is a dharma. You have to follow that. If you don't know what it is, please ask the guru and learn from your guru. What am I supposed to do? And if you look at it really, Amog, I'm happy you're asking this question. If you look at life from a larger perspective, and this life is not neither the beginning nor the end. It is a dot in the continuum that we are going through. Please understand. This life is neither the beginning nor the end. And if you have to put an end to this cycle of samsara, there is no other way than first following dharma, getting jnanam, and then continue on dharma. Understand?
Yes.
Understand? Only if you follow dharma, you will get jnanam. Please understand. Without following dharma, you will not get jnanam. Muktirno shatajanma koti sukritai punyer vina labhyate. If somebody has got jnanam, you can definitely say that person is following dharma. And if he is following dharma only, you will say he's got jnanam. If he follows adharma, he is not a jnani. Very clear. Okay. Then the person will continue to follow dharma. And let me ask a simple question. What is the challenge in following dharma? You tell me. The challenge in following dharma is bodily discomfort, mental challenges. What will other people think about me? If I keep go in the room, what will they think of me? Am I old fashioned? So many things are coming, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? I'm practical, right? Because I'm like you, man. I've been everywhere. Please understand. So be frank, no problem. So coming out of all the inhibitions and trying to, why? Because I am going to make sure this life, I'm going to make it fruitful. I'm going to make this life count, get the ultimate goal of life. If that is something very clear, then you will do what it takes to follow dharma. You will do what it takes to get Gita Jnanam, Vedanta Jnanam, get the moksha in this life. Are you getting the point? Yes. Then only you are eligible to say Purnamada Purnamidam, I have got completeness. Then you ask the question. At that time, the question if you ask, I've studied all the Vedanta Shastras properly, and only by Vedanta Shastras, not by any other means. I told you in one class, you asked, what is the right way to go? Right way is only Vedic way. Non-Vedic way is not the way to go. Once you get the Jnanam, then this question will not arise because you will be convinced that the path I followed to come to Jnana is the royal path. So other people also should follow the same path. If I suddenly break that path and go in different path, they will think it is okay to break the rule and also maybe will get Jnanam, which is not possible. So a Jnani also has to follow the right path called Dharma. Understand? It is like this, no? You climb up a stairs, maybe wooden stairs, go up and remove the stairs. Because I have reached the roof, no? The first floor, then the stairs are not required for you, right? Are required for other people to come up or not?
Yes.
If you want other people to join you there, stairs should be the way it is, and stairs are the dharma. Dharma is the stairs. Oh. And you should come down, like our friend asked, like a friend, you should come down the same stairs, be with the people, take them up. Come down, take them up. So follow dharma.
Okay, Guruji. Thank you.
You got it? You tell me in 2 words, what is it you understood? Because I won't let you go without answering.
Only with dharma can you get jnana, and it's dependent on just different for everybody. If you're a grihastha, you have a certain dharma. If you're a brahmachari, you have a certain dharma. And based on that, you follow whatever dharma and you reach the state of jnani.
Correct. And then what you do? Continue to follow dharma. Okay? You can be brahmachari jnani. You should follow brahmacharya dharma. Correct? And then what you do? Yes. You come down every now and then the stairs, collect some people, take them. Okay?
Yes.
That is the fun of life. That is the fun of life, right?
Yes.
Enjoy. Okay. Hari Om, all the best. Come for the Saturday class. Look like you missed a Saturday class. Did you come?
I just watched the video. I was busy with college work, so.
Okay. College is fine. Important. Please attend college. It's important. Hari Om. Very nice. Okay. Is that done for Ram? Okay. Umaji, quick. Hari Om. Unmute.
Yeah. Quick. So just like Amok is fortunate to learn all this at the young age, Guruji. We are just very pure in our life, so we have all these questions. So today you talked about the family traditions that, you know, sometimes when they intercaste marriage, when they do Surya Namaskaram, one person will want to do Surya Namaskaram, another person will want to go to the church, right? So how should we guide our youngsters in this matter? So and we also say that Brahman is there in all people. So when children, how should we tell our youngsters, you know, what is the right way to guide them? Intercaste marriage is okay, not okay. How will they, how should you guide them? Is the big question. Because nowadays,
very.
All those lines are coming.
I understand there are practical challenges, so we'll understand everything practically because I want to give everything practically. Our philosophy will be practical. Otherwise, it'll have no value, right? My Swamiji used to say, a value is a value only when you know how to value that value. Can you understand this language? A value is a value and it's got value in society. Otherwise, it becomes valueless. So we'll try to make it valuable. Now you see, first point, write down. You have to write notes. You ask question, you write notes. Okay. Now, Jnanam is in the mind. Please understand. Okay. Jnanam, which means what? Samatva bhavam. There is only one pure consciousness everywhere, is only in the mind, which means at the level of the mind, you treat everybody as one and the same. The empathy, sympathy, everything is there. First point. That is called Jnanam. But in Vyavaharam, Vyavaharam means what? In interactions with the world, it is only Dharmam. Are you getting the point? Maji. In Vyavaharam, one has to follow Dharmam 120%. At the mind, one has to be a Jnani 120%. First thing. This is called as Paramarthika Drishti and Vyavaharika Drishti. Right on Sanskrit, I'll tell you in English. Paramarthika Drishti means the vision of absolute reality which is in the mind. And Vyavaharika Drishti means for doing interaction in the world, what kind of approach you should have. Relative reality. There are two realities in the world. One is called absolute reality. One is called relative reality. The absolute reality is totally understanding or jnanam. Relative reality is practice. One has to practice. Okay. So, Bhagavan says in the Gita that a jnani sees everybody as one and the same. Sees everybody as one and the same means what? That drishti is there. You know what? The understanding is there, but in vyavaharam, in action, you cannot bring that in action. Okay. So, while we can say, for example, a dog and I are like same Shuddha Chaitanyam, you cannot sit with the dog and eat, correct? Can you do that? You cannot do that, right? You will feed the dog. Who is having dog? I mean, good luck to them. So similarly, in Vyavaharam, the male is different, Stri is different, Purusha, Stri is different, elders are different, youngsters are different. Okay. And all the rules of the equation in society are all different. You have to follow that. Then only there will be order in society. If everybody is everything, everybody can do anything, there will be no order. Correct? You're getting the point? There's a proper structure, way of life that is called Dharma Shastram that should be followed in way of life. So don't confuse Jnanam with Dharma Shastram. A Jnani will have equal viewpoint or equal, no, Panditaha Samadarshinaha. It says, right? The person will have proper viewpoint of equanimity, everything. But in Vyavaharam, it will be different. So you cannot go and hug everybody like that. Okay, that is not, we don't practice that. Sanatana doesn't say that. Okay, you have to treat that way. Okay. Now coming to the point, you got the point, no difference between Jnanam and Dharmam. In fact, there is one shloka which talks about Advaitham, how Advaitham should be practiced. It says that Advaitam is something only in the mind, should be Jnanam, but don't try and practice Advaitam. Bhavadvaitam sada kurya. So, Na kuryat karyameva tat. So, nadvaitam karyameva tat. Advaitam trishu lokeshu. Nadvaitam guruna saha. Wonderful shloka is there for that. Where Advaitam, the oneness should be practiced there. Bhavadvaitam sada kuryat. The bhavam, the attitude of Advaitam can be there always. But nakuryat karyameva tat. Don't bring in the Advaitam into action. Then dog, cat, everything being one and the same. Then you should put your cow in the bedroom. Okay? You should get out of the bedroom. Please understand. Okay? Then Advaitam trishu lokeshu. All the three words you practice Advaitam. Advaitam guruna sada. Don't try to practice Advaitam guru. Don't say guru, you and me are on the same. So let us sit together. You cannot say that. Guru is always higher. So that's why practicing will be dharmam, jnanam will be Advaitam or Shuddha Chaitanyam, Brahman, everything you said. No. Everybody is Atman. There is no doubt about it. That's a fact. Now, second point, you talked about intercaste marriage, interreligion marriage and all those things. See, it is at best what we can do when we bring up in proper tradition, people will understand over a period of time. But today we cannot say everything happens the right way, right? Sometimes things are beyond our control. Then I would leave it to what is called as samanya dharmam. Please understand, when you come to second chapter, you will understand more detail. Bhagavan gives advice to Arjuna at three levels. One level is the Atma Jnanam or spiritual knowledge. Second, he gives Dharma Shastram Jnanam. That means what? Dharma is saying this, so you have to fight. Third level, he says Samanya Dharmam. Look at Laukika Dharmam. What is happening in the way of life? That is also a Dharmam to be followed. So, in those cases, when spirituality doesn't work, Dharma Shastra doesn't work, what is the best thing you can do without causing serious repair within the relationships and the family? You all sit together, have a proper decision and take the right decision. Because there is no one decision that can be told universally. Understand, Umaji? Importantly, people should live happily. That is the goal. Okay. First, when people live happily, mind will settle down. When mind settles down, it will appreciate Dharma. When the mind appreciates Dharma, it will start following Dharma. When you follow Dharma, you will get Punyam. When you get more Punyam, the mind is more purified. You are ready for Jnanam, you will get Jnanam. You got the point? So first, ensure that there is harmony, happiness in the family, whatever may be the circumstance, even if it has gone beyond control. You understand what I'm saying? No, I will not say what other words, but this is what the general advice that is given. You all combine together, sit down together. Now you tell me, Umaji, what is the solution you got? Unmute.
Yeah, so there is a difference in which you see these things. One is that dharma, vyavaharika dharma. So vyavaharika, whatever you practice is a little different from the way you approach things. So you have to look at what is more practical. End of the day, the happiness of the family is more important. So when the mind is settled and they are happy, they can lead a life of dharma. So probably that is why the caste doesn't matter in today's world. So it was needed.
No. That's not what the answer is. No, sorry, you got it wrong. Dharma is the guiding principle. Please understand. For some reasons, the dharma has lost its existence among people. Bhagavan is going to say. So it has over a period of time, the dharma has fallen down. So I'm coming back to establish dharma. Bhagavan is saying. So now the position, where are you today? People have forgotten dharma, lost knowledge of dharma. That is why all this is happening. What Arjuna is saying, intercaste, all has happened. That doesn't mean it is dharma. Please understand. Unfortunately, you are at that stage. Instead of further beating them up and scolding them, first make them calm, peaceful, happy. Then the calm mind will start appreciating dharma. They have to slowly come back to dharma. There are ways to do it. Specific situations are there. Then slowly when dharma comes, then everything can come in place. People have to come to dharma. There is no compromise on that. How you bring them to dharma is a different thing. It's like your own child, no? How do you make the kid eat? Some kids eat very easily. Some people you show cartoon. Some people you show the moon. No, finally goal is to make the child eat the food, correct? Like that, No compromise on dharma. Dharma is also percentage. Start with 2%. That's why I say 2%, 3%, 5%, 10%. Slowly bring people on dharma. Now, can you restate the understanding? Because the other statement was not right. You tell me what is the right answer. Hey, tell me.
You help me, Guruji. I just thought that it is okay. It is okay to let go in the way that they like.
No,
right?
no, they'll go and make a decision and come. Then what I'm telling you what we are supposed to do.
See, as long as they are happy and they are doing whatever is in the path of dharma, it doesn't really matter, right?
What is dharma? What is dharma? Who says what is dharma? Dharma Shastras only say what is dharma. So they should be advised slowly in Dharma Shastra and what the path of dharma. Please understand. Happiness is important. Happiness, physical happiness will last only a period of time. Please understand. That will not ensure the ultimate goal. If you have to go on the real path, people are come to dharma correctly. Understand? No. Even little bit, 10-20% you follow. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhajat. Bhagavan says. So people have to start moving towards this. Understand? No. They are going in 180 opposite direction. Turn, U-turn and start moving slowly. That is the way it is. And never ever rupture the family. Never ever get into unnecessary fight and other problems. Harmoniously do things. It can be done. Clear, no?
Okay. Thank you.
All the best. Hariom. All the best. Okay, I think we are done, Ram. It's a long session. We will stop here. Correct, no? Thank you, Ram, for staying back and facilitating. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Tatsat Krishna 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 Shubhamastu. Samasta Sanmangalani Bhunsatyayata. Namaste Hari Om.